local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Appreciate you joining us here this afternoon, wherever you're watching, whatever platform you're on. Good job. You found us. Remember that. And today, though, right now, we are talking about what happened yesterday, and that is the Blazers making their pick. No big trades happened yesterday. That was something that I'm going to admit I kind of anticipated was going to happen. They did not. They picked Scoot Henderson. There's a lot of feedback about that. Good, bad, positive, negative, all of that stuff. But we're going to talk about it right now with our foremost sport authority, the one and only Mr. Nick Krupke. Nick, thank you for joining us here to talk about this. This is always going to be a good discussion anytime that you're on the show. But let me just start off by asking you, what was it like yesterday out there talking to people? What was the reaction that people had?
You kind of had a split evening last night. Went to that official team party across the river in Vancouver at Big Al's. That place was packed out. I've seen it not even that packed for like a Super Bowl or a March Madness situation. So people certainly really into the pick, at least there. That's like a lot of season ticket holders and stuff. They had the excitement of a Scoot Henderson. And maybe you don't put into that equation of what's this mean for Dame. But in the moment, like that's an incredibly talented 19-year-old kid that you're going to have come join your team. How much of an impact does he make this year? Who's to say until we really see it? We'll see the Summer League here in a couple of weeks. But, then you get the naysayers, and, they went down to the practice facility in Tualatin and heard from Joe Cronin in the evening. He's a pretty subtle guy. He's a big dude, but he talks real low and not too high, not too low. But there was that feeling of, it's almost like, boy, it'd be great to celebrate this pick at number 3 that we sucked so much last year to earn this chance to be number 3, to take it, a player like Scoot. But then there's all the Dame stuff is all that matters right now, right? For the future, what this program is, beyond the fact of the ownership and all that kind of situation, it's what's Dame like. And I know that he's out of the country. I know he was in Hong Kong, and he was in somewhere in Europe now doing his. He's got so many things he's pushing, sponsorships and things of that nature, that he's not here. Joe said he last talked to him on Tuesday. Says he was in contact though with his agent Aaron Goodwin. This is up for Dame to decide. If Dame truly wants to go, right, he can go, and I think that they'll honor that request if he makes it. We heard him at the end of the season very adamant that he doesn't want to be around for, I don't want to call it a rebuild, but another 19-year-old kid that he's going to have to try to help mentor through here. Can he lean on a guy like Scoot? They're hoping to re-sign Jeremy Grant, of course, but Dame needs a legitimate all-star right now at 32, 33 next month. And you don't get that with Scoot. It was a nice draft, right? Even picking up, Murray at 23, Chris Murray, that's a NBA-ready player. He's 22 at least, like an old-fashioned rookie used to be, 3 years in college. But it's not enough. And I like you, I don't know that I was surprised they didn't make a trade, but after all the talks and all the articles and clickbait you read, I thought, like, well, something's probably going to happen, right? Right. And to not make any move, that doesn't mean they still can't move those players. I think the writing on the wall now is for Anthony Simons, unfortunately, but that's a lot of guys in the backcourt, man. If you're keeping Dame, you're keeping Scoot, he's going to play a lot as a rookie. There's a lot of guys there kind of playing the same role. So certainly trades are going to be on the horizon here, no doubt about it.
A lot of guys that all need the ball. I mean, especially that backcourt. I mean, and that's some good players, like you mentioned. I mean, you got Simons. Now, I don't know how they're going to handle, Simons and Sharp and, Scoot, Dame. That's too much.
Somebody's got to go. They can't.
Somebody's got to go, yeah.
You need a big body, right? You need a true legit center, okay? Is Nurk, can he still be that? We haven't seen a complete season from Nurk since he got here, right? Yeah. Drew Eubanks was your best center last season at 6'9", a former G League player, of course, played at Reynolds and Troutdale, went to Oregon State. We know that story from him, but you need a legitimate big body down there, and somebody that can play defense too. And again, just be that second guy. Can Jeremy Grant be that? Yeah, probably. Yeah. But is he an all-star? Hasn't been yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just, and we talked about it before, like Nibs, he's on the fringe of being that kind of player. Yeah. They got to take a big swing though, or the swing is, okay, Dame, if you don't like it, let's work on something, and you got to get something out of it and grant him his wish of his final years of being able to go get what he certainly deserves if it's not going to happen here.
Right. And what do you get in return for that? Because you have to get a pretty big haul. So it's got to be somebody that can pony up at least a lot of draft picks, some young talent. So there may not even be that many teams that can pony up the price that the Blazers will want, although I guess they may have their hand at the fire at that.
Well, things are going to have to happen, right? I mean, for it to not happen before the draft, to have all that movement there, free agency, and then the moratorium on trades comes up here in July as well. Like, this is going to move pretty quick. So when he gets back from Europe, him and Joe and Chauncey, and to what degree is Jody Allen involved? Bert Gold, of course. Does he want to be around for this? And you, as a fan that respects so much of what Damian is as a human, you got to respect whatever decision he makes, man, because if you're in his spot where you're looking at maybe 3-4 really great prime years left, if that.
Yeah.
Is this the team, and with the leadership, not the fans, not the city, none of that stuff, or his teammates, is the leadership here? Who's gonna truly be, who truly owns it now? Who's truly running it now? And that can't be forever. Yeah.
I mean, and that's absolutely it. Like, nobody can get mad at Dame, no matter what it is that he decides. The guy is giving it his all here. I mean, he's one of the greatest players, if not, you could argue, the greatest Blazer of all time, at this point.
For sure, and it's on his terms, right? How many times has this guy over the last 3-4 years said, I'm loyal, I want to be here, I want to win, I want to see it through, and then you have all these people that don't cover the team around here, don't live around here, don't have any attachment, like, well, Dame, they got to trade Dame, he's got to go, doesn't he want to win, he's a loser. Like, what kind of mentality is that, right? I mean, he wants to be here to win with these people that he's stuck with for over a decade now and see it through. Okay, so now maybe where the path is, the big swing we haven't seen it yet. So if they can't bring back, I mean, Jeremy's not going to come back if Dame's not here either. So really the next couple of weeks is going to be pretty big to really, truly what this future is. We got a first piece of that last night. And the future is like, well, not 2023, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, and if he goes, there's no point even in bringing Jeremy Grant back, because that's a lot of money.
No.
You'd be eating up right there. Or, you take that swing. I guess they could still trade Scoot Henderson. It doesn't really seem like that's something they're going to do. It seems like they're going to hold on to him. But no Simons, the 23, future picks, I don't know. So you think within a week here, when Dame gets back, that it's going to happen that fast?
Well, the matter of fact, I mean, with free agency open, like, they got to be able to approach these guys like that's going to be their first question, right? Well, is Dame there? Right? That's got to be answered. So that's definitely coming up. I mean, what are we looking at here? We're on June 23rd. Free agency begins on the 30th, which is we're talking about next Friday is when it opens up. So, and then the moratorium in July to actually make the moves and make the trades July 9th. So, big window of time here, man.
It's happening fast. Well, it's going to be, one way or another, we're going to find out here, like you mentioned, soon. I kind of feel like it's Dame's out, but, I would love for them to take a swing if they got somebody good.
But if he's not, you can't blame him. And I don't, even driving back from the facility last night and being, we're live in the 10 at the facility and driving back. And what's the radio station saying? Okay, it's national radio. All right, not to call anybody out, but Fox Sports Radio. And that was like the big rant of like, Dave's got to make a decision. Like, the hot topic kind of guy. Like, does he have to? And like, are we going to judge him if he wants to stay here? And maybe a championship isn't going to happen the next 2-3 years in the rest of his prime, but he wants to be here and still entertain and still compete and be the ultimate competitor that he is. Can't blame that either, man. And if you're a Blazer fan, you'd certainly respect him even more so than ever before. If they're not close. Okay, they are not close. They're more than one guy away. I mean, even we say he's going to add an all-star, like, they still need a lot more than that to make this team relevant to not just make the playoffs, but to actually win a playoff series, which they haven't done, Greg, in 4 years.
I know. I mean, and you look at what some of the other teams are doing around the league. They were able to make some trades. I mean, there's not a ton. You didn't see a whole lot of big names, but at least, Boston went and got Porzingis and, I mean, Chris Paul. I don't think that would do much for us. But, there were some moves, it feels like, that were out there, but they just didn't happen. I'm sure some of them wanted Shaedon Sharpe, which I respect they didn't give him up. But I don't know if they can't do something like right then with the number 3 draft.
But that's the decision,
right?
What
are they going to do now?
Okay, so if that's the only way you can get somebody to come help Dame right now, what if it's Shaedon?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do that?
Ooh.
If that's your future, are you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's you're living on the blade of a knife, right? If you're Joe Cronin, are you winning now or are you winning in the future? And if you're not winning now, then you got to make that bold move and say, hey, man.
Yeah. It just didn't work.
We wish you well.
Yeah. Let's try to find you somewhere to go. All right. Well, it's going to be definitely.
That's depressing. See, it's so weird. I mean,
it is.
Again, you sucked so bad last year, intentionally losing games again at the end of the season to get the right to get a player like Scoot, who, if it wasn't for Wembanyama, he's probably number 1, right?
Yeah.
And if Charlotte needs a point guard, he's certainly number 2. And now I'm not taking Brandon Miller. And so you got this exciting player that can seemingly do it all. No doubt he's young, but to have those skills and the leap out of the gym ability like he has, you got to be a little bit excited, right? But it's
that's exciting.
Like, can they coexist here? And you'd hope to think that they could.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that does much for you in 2023.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll hear a lot, like you said, in the next week. I know you'll be covering it. I know you'll have it. I know everybody's going to be talking about it. Waiting for Dame to get back from Europe.
We're all waiting, baby. Yeah. I'm just glad to be off the Twitter for a while. The NBA draft Twitter, like, I don't want to. Don't say that. I don't want to. No. Let's just see how it plays out. And look what happened. Nothing.
Yep. But that's what's going. Okay, that's the big thing that we're going to be figuring out here. We're live here at the digital desk too for anybody watching. So one of my coworkers
I'm live
was
in my
approaching
office
from the right.
Anybody watching? Yeah.
I assume it was to say I did something ridiculous, but
come on, Greg.
Emmett went away, so I think I'm all right.
All right, cool.
All right, well, Nick, thank you. Appreciate it. I know you got a lot of work to do. I know you got a lot of stuff coming up. Anything people should be watching out for here over the next?
We're rolling down to Corvallis tonight, going to the Corvallis Knights game. They're having their strikeout cancer night. Yep, honoring their longtime GM Jen, who's in hospice care actually. So a nice night to really celebrate the woman that she is and the leadership and the guidance she brought down there to the West Coast League and the Knights who have won that trophy for so many years consecutively now that we head down to the Knights and have that for you tonight on the news at 10 o'clock.
Nice. Well, Nick, appreciate it. I'll let you get back to it there because that's a drive you got to make. But we'll talk to you soon.
Kevin, don't worry. I play DJ.
Nice. There you go. All right, Nick. Thanks a lot.
See you, man. Have a great weekend.
Yep. You too. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, there we go. The one and only Nick Krupke joining us to talk about what is going on with the Blazers. I know everybody's got opinions. You can drop your opinions in the comments if you so want to. Let us know what you think. Should they keep him? Should they trade him? Is Dame staying? Is Dame going? Obviously, if you're a Blazer fan, this is what we're all going to be thinking about over the next week. But we will have answers soon. In the meantime, this is Fox 12 Now. I appreciate everybody joining us wherever you're watching. I know I say that a lot, but thanks for finding out where this show is. We're on YouTube Live. We're on all of our apps. We're on our website. We're live every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific. You can watch all of the interviews that we've had and the segments that we've covered here over the last week on our YouTube channel, Fox 12 Oregon. Go to the live section. And we have covered the gamut this week. There's been a lot of things that we have a very wide range of topics were covered on this show, and the same thing will be happening next week, so you'll want to definitely join in for that as well. All right, that's it for now. Have a great weekend. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.